Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters. How are you doing this beautiful evening? Your brother Tony is in the house. Come on in, come on in. It's dinner time, so come in and sit down at the dinner table so I can give you some good food for the soul. Go ahead, my brothers and sisters, invite some more family members and friends to the dinner table. When you come to the dinner table, my brother and sister, before you come in, brother and sister, let's acknowledge the guests that may come in to get some of our good food for the soul. By the way, if you are a guest and this is your first time at the dinner table, my name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationships. I talk about relationship basically from a biblical point of view. When you go to the book of Genesis, God had a unique relationship with the man Adam and Eve, and he brought Eve to Adam, and that's where I basically come from. Now, you got a free will. You can do whatever you choose to do. But if you sit at the dinner table, I'm letting you know straight up that I basically come from the organization and design for a relationship, how God designed it in the book of Genesis, okay? But I encourage you, if you have another position, to still sit at the dinner table and get some of this good food for the soul. I'm on two different platforms. I'm on the book and I'm on the tube. Those of you that are on the tube, I may say something to those on the book. You may not see their names and comment, but I will call out their names and comment, and vice versa. Those of you that are on the book, if someone on the tube say something or make a comment, I will call out their name and their comment throughout the broadcast. Okay. And with that said, my brother and sister, we're about to look at the menu and see what we are going to have for a good, good food for the soul. Okay. Now, when we look at the menu, the topic for tonight, what we're going to discuss, family, is how a woman attracts a man is in the presentation. That's what we're going to talk about this evening. How a woman attracts a man is in the presentation. Now, there are a lot of women, my brothers and sisters, that desire to be in a serious, committed, and covenant relationship with a man. What a woman must understand is that it's all in the presentation and the type of man she's attracting to herself. So that's what we're going to discuss at the dinner table, family. How a woman attracts a man is all in the presentation. Now, the secret, my brothers and sisters, is in order to attract the right man, sister, you got to understand we look at presentation, okay? A lot of people don't talk about that, but we do look at presentation. Now, presentation is clearly defined as an activity in which someone shows, describes, or explains something to a group of people. Now, my sisters, listen to this. Most men are interested in a woman for one or two reasons. Now, what are those one or two reasons? One reason is to take. What do I mean by take? To take and discharge. So there are a lot of men, worldly men. Worldly men are interested in taking what you have and discharging you after you are used up. You become disposable, right? It's nothing long term. With it could go to whatever type of relationship you're in. It can go on for years, but there's no solid investment into you. Okay. And on the other hand, a man may look to invest in you or see you as an asset, and he will be willing to build with you. So, sister, you got to understand that it's very, very important. And I'm talking about there are some women up in age that do not understand that it's in your presentation a lot of time what type of men that you attract to yourselves. Okay, it's very important. And when you attract the wrong type of man, you're wondering why men keep coming to me in this manner. When you keep attracting the wrong type of men, there are some women that say there's no men that are good out there, and all men want is one thing. It's in the presentation. So you have some men in a group that want a woman, and then you have a man in a group that would like and need a woman in his life because he have a purpose for the woman. Now, number one, back to the presentation. Here is a question. Are you trying, sister, listen to it. Are you trying to attract a man? This is a key component. Are you trying to attract a man with your body or your soul? This is a crucial question. Are you trying, I'm talking basically to you single sister, are you trying to attract a man with your body or your soul? Both of them are a form of a bait. Okay. If you're interested in a man, how what are you doing to attract the man? See, if you trying to attract a man with your body, that is basically that's a a difficult concept, sister. If you're trying to get a man with your body, is that all you have to offer? How you doing, Sister Cynthia? Welcome to the dinner table. So there are a lot of women, and it's sad to say some of my sisters, when I say sister, I'm talking about Christian women. You think that you can attract a man with your body, and to tell you the truth, you can attract a man with your body. You can attract a man with your body, but it's the type of man that you attract with your body. And what type of man is that? A worldly man you attract with your body. Now, sisters, this is what turned worldly men's on. And a lot of you have seen it. This is what turned worldly men's on. For example, twerking. That turns worldly men on. And you think it's something cute about twerking in public, on the dance floors, on social media. You really think it's something to that, right? You going to attract a man because if you're twerking, if you're showing a lot of cleavage, if you like wiggling your behind, if you like being in a swimming suit and you in your bedroom and no ocean or body of water is around you, it's in the presentation. What are you promoting, sister, when you are twerking? Again, when you're twerking, when you're showing a lot of cleavage, when you're wiggling your behind in public, when you're taking pictures, you will have a camera in front of you and post it on social media. And while you're holding the camera in front of you, is the camera gonna take a picture of your front side, and your back. You're doing everything, you promoting your body. How you doing, Sister Susanna? Welcome to the dinner table. And you're dressing in a swimming suit, but you're in your bedroom, and the bed messed up, and the house look cluttered. But what are you promoting when you like promoting your body? It's a presentation. It's just like you going to a job. If you go to a certain job, like a corporate job, like a Fortune 500 place, you know how to dress to go get a job, right? You're not going to dress a whole bunch of ways. It depends on the environment, and you know better. A lot of women know better. So when you are promoting your body to try to get the attention of a man, you're going to get attention. You're going to get a whole lot of attention. But do you want that type of attention? And then when the man come at you a certain way, you going to say, all you want is to have sex with me. But that's what you're promoting. Your presentation, your outward presentation. And that gets the attention of a lot of worldly men. That's why a lot of men, like on social media, for example, the book, they like jumping in your DM, your box. And they would tell you things like you're a queen. They would tell you things like you cute, you fine, and all that kind of stuff, but it's not real. And that's why they're doing it to you, sisters. They are misleading you. And they pumping up your head or fluffing up your head like you got it going on. When all they want is to get you to go horizontal and lay on your back. That's what you presented to them. But you think it's cute. And what I find, I find a whole bunch of attractive women that result to the thing that I just explained, the twerking, They're showing a lot of cleavage, the wiggling of the backside, doing seductive things in public and everything to try to get attention of men. And you do get attention of men, but you get attention of men the wrong way. And then when these men come at you and you think you got a relationship going on, and then all he talk about is putting you horizontally, and it's all he want from you, then you want to say, is this all you want from me? You'll look down in his face and say, this all it's supposed to be about? That's what you sold to him. How you doing, Sister Flo? Welcome to the dinner table. That's what you sold to him. You sold him your body. So that's what he think. That's how a lot of men think. And we're talking about worldly men. Now, on the other hand, it's a spiritual man. A spiritual man does not, or a godly man doesn't look at you as a want. He look at it, can I incorporate her into my life purpose? You understand? That's what a godly man do. See, a godly man will ask himself this question. If a godly man see that a godly man would think like this, can she do more than twerking? Can she do more than showing her cleavage? Can she do more than wiggling her backside? Can she do more than taking a whole bunch of swimming pictures in the bedroom and there's no ocean around? That's what godly men think. Is this all she could do? Where can I take this woman? And she could, if that's all she about, showing her outside exterior, what that's shadow. You see, a godly man look at it, it's like it's shadow. You don't have no depth in you. He don't want to get you because, see, a godly man, he represents God's son Jesus first and foremost. So if a godly man represents Jesus, the woman that he has is a representation of the man. Called it is written that the woman is the glory of the man. She is. A woman represents the man. So a godly man, he have to be very careful of what type of woman he say I do to. Now, a godly man he admire an attractive woman. Godly men admire attractive women, but they don't admire women that promote their bodies and don't think and think it's cute or it's sexy. You see, when a woman markets to her body, she's marketing to everyone. And then you wonder why you can't keep a man, or you going through several men because of what you're marketing. You got a brand, sister. Everybody got a brand. You are branded some kind of way. You got a brand, your name, but you got a brand to it. Your brand is you are projecting worldly things or you are projecting spiritual things. Now, a godly man, he loves beauty. And they say that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but a godly man loves the beauty of the heart of a woman. See, a godly man is more interested in the soul of a woman. What do I mean by the soul? How she thinks, her will, and her emotions. Worldly men think about how good your face look, how big or small your breasts are. Do you have a small waist? Do your hips go way out? Does your butt stick way out? Do you have some big thighs? Do you have some thick calves? Do you have pretty feet? Do you show your print and all that kind of stuff? That's what worldly men are into. Godly men, they're my art. If a God formed a woman in a nice fashion way on the outside, it's for a husband to see the exterior. Now, when I say cleavage, you see like how my shirt is right now. You see, now if I come on here and I have my shirt down here, what am I saying to you? I'm talking to you about God, right? I'm talking to you about God. It's in the presentation. Now, if I come to you talking about God and I have my shirt unbuckled and it comes all the way down to my navel and I'm showing my chest and all that kind of stuff, and I'm talking to you about God, what kind of message you getting out of it? You'll be confused a little bit, possibly. You'll say, he talking about God, but look at his presentation. It doesn't go with what he's saying. And that's why I'm telling you too. You see, worldly men are more attracted to a woman's body, your presentation. Godly men are more attracted to your soul, and then your body comes secondary. You see, as it is written in the book of 1 Peter 3:4, 1 Peter 3:4, and it reads, and I quote, "But let it be the hidden man of the heart in that which is not corruptible, even the ointment of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God a great prize." So what that just described is the inward quality of a godly woman, meek and quiet spirit. And not only a meek and quiet spirit, it say, which is in the sight of God a great prize. How you doing, Sister Philip? Welcome to the dinner table. Also, it is written in the book of Proverbs 31:10-12. Proverbs 31:10-12. Proverbs 31:10-12. A godly man need to understand this. Worldly men don't understand it. Godly men do. It say, who can find a virtuous woman? What is a virtuous woman? A virtuous woman is basically a wife-ready woman. She's not a girlfriend. You all know what I'm about to say. She's not a girlfriend. She's not a live-in. She's not no midnight run. She is wife ready. For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband. It doesn't say the heart of a boyfriend. It doesn't say the heart of a boo. It doesn't say the heart of just a friend. It doesn't say the heart of friends with benefit. It said the heart of her husband. Listen to that position. It said the heart of her husband, safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and evil, not all the days of her life. That's what godly men look for, the inward quality of a woman and how she projects herself. Because you see, a godly man, he looking at not only the moment, he looking at the future with that woman. Because a godly man know whatever woman he select, she's going to represent him in a positive way. You see, I'm going to give you a contrast. Let's say, and I have used this kind of thing before. Let's say something about Michelle Obama. Everyone on here familiar with Michelle Obama, right? When you look at Michelle Obama, what do you observe about her? When you actually look at Michelle Obama, before she opened her mouth, what is her presentation? What does she project? Before she say anything, what does Michelle Obama project? Before she opened her mouth, she project integrity. Without her open her mouth, she project a woman that use a lot of this. Sister Susanna said, class, good. Some of you other people, when you look at Michelle Obama, without her open her mouth, good answer, Susanna. She said, class. I agree with that. She represents class. Elegance. All those positive words she project, that's based on how her hair looks and her clothes look. And who that Sister Flo said integrity and truthfulness. Amen. Those are some positive qualities that this woman project. And you know what? Who did she represent? She represent her husband, Barack Obama. Barack Obama, some people liked him and they didn't. He was the president of the United States. And what did he project? He projected leadership. He projected leadership. He projected trustworthiness. Now, this is about to get sticky. This is really about to get sticky. There are some women that you all know. I'm not going to call no names because I let you all, if you want to come up with a name in your mind, you come up with a name. Let's say a singer. I ain't got to call no name. Let's say a singer. She comes on stage and she dressed she shows a lot of skin. She shows her breasts. She shows her legs. She shows a whole bunch of her body. Before she even hit a note, she come out there on stage. I know several women that probably will come to your mind. I don't even want to call no names. But I know in your minds, my sister and brother, there are certain women that come out there that dress like that. I'm talking about married women. And you know their husband name too. I ain't calling no names. Let's compare some of these women that come out on stage and dress very provocative. When men look at those women, what are they thinking? You know what worldly men thinking when they look at a woman that dressing very provocative, even though she got a husband? We are adults here. Let me tell you what they're thinking. I don't mind hitting that. That's what worldly men thinking. They don't care about a husband. I don't mind hitting that. Won't even care about a husband. If they could get a chance, I don't mind hitting that. Then may have a husband. The husband ain't got no problem with his wife showing her body to the world. Yes, you may be popular. Yes, you may be getting a whole bunch of money. And yes, according to the world standard, you are called a power couple because you got money, you got popularity, but in the husband, he allow his wife to go out there. What they're saying about him? What they say about him? Compared to Barack Obama. What do they say? And I don't have to call no names and stuff like that. Some of you could come up with names of some singers or actors and actresses that the wife dress in a provocative way and the husband don't say nothing or care nothing about her. You see, the thing about it start with the husband. And you get an insight into the husband. She represent him. And they end this thing together because of money. They don't even think about the effect that they have on other people, especially younger girls. It'll be more younger girls that think that's the way to go than trying to say Michelle Obama is a good model. She's a good model of how a woman should be. They would prefer going with some of these celebrities and how they dress and stuff and say, I want to be like that woman. You see how twisted that is? And where the men would go with that. On a local level, some of you brothers and sisters, you know, are some local people. It could be some of your family members or friends. The woman dressed floozy. And she got a man and he right with the program. I talk about every time you see her, she dressed floozy. She be twerking. I want to ask you, brothers and sisters, a question. Can you imagine Michelle Obama twerking in public? Can you imagine that? Just think about it. Can you imagine Michelle Obama twerking? I can't, not in public. She might twerk in front of her husband. Can you imagine Michelle Obama showing a lot of cleavage? Can you imagine her doing that? She probably could do it in with her husband. Can you imagine Michelle Obama walking around with a swimming suit on for everybody to see her? If you do get a picture of Michelle Obama in a swimming suit, she might be on a beach or something, and the paparazzi may take a picture of her, but she's not going to hardly get out there and just model with a swimsuit on so you can see her. And she's not going to be in no bedroom with the bedroom messed up and with a swimming suit on. Can you see Michelle Obama walking and looking over her shoulder, shaking her butt in public? She purposely wiggling it like a little dog, happy to see you. She purposely doing that. Can you imagine that? You know why? Because she is about presentation. She thinks, because she think about what the public gonna think about her, her God, her husband, her family. That's a wise woman. You see, a godly man, he wants a woman that wise. Here come the faux part. He want that wise, they have knowledge, understanding, and discernment, which is beautiful. And she have a meek and quiet spirit, which in the sight of God is a great prize. Going back to 1 Peter 3:4, 1 Peter 3:4, 1 Peter 3:4, it said, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, and which is not corruptible, even the ointment of a meek and quiet spirit, which in the sight of God is a great prize. So when a woman have a meek and quiet spirit, the Bible clearly say that she's a great prize in the sight of God. And then going back to Proverbs 31, 10, 12, Proverbs 31, 10, 12, Proverbs 31, 10, 12, it said, who can find a virtual woman? Now, a virtual woman is like a wife, okay? But the Bible asks the question, who can find a virtual woman? You know why I asked that question? Because they are small and few and they hid in plain sight. Virtual women are hid in plain sight. Worldly men don't know what a virtual woman looks like. They will see her, but they'll bypass her because she don't look like she's an easy floozy. She doesn't look like she's a garden tool. She doesn't look like she's a 304. So they were apt to go with something a little easy. You know, let me tell you, sister, something. Listen to this. Based on a woman's presentation and how she looked, let me tell you how men look at it. Based on how a woman project, how she, especially how she dressed, men look at it. She easy. It don't take nothing to get her horizontal. She's easy. It don't take nothing to do that. You ain't got to invest that much in her. Just get in her ear, tell her a few lies, make her feel good, and then you can get her horizontally. That's what a lot of men think. And then when a man come at these women this way, then they want to say, why are you coming to me this way? Then the man thinking, okay, you showing me all your breath, they about to pop out your shirt. You showing, outfit you got on, you showing me all that stuff that you got, and you out there on the dance floor twerking. You might be twerking, and you get on social media or anything, and you turn around, you be in a club, and you have your friends recording you twerking. And what men thinking? When men look at a woman twerking, let me tell you what they thinking. In the common sense, men be think, I don't mind hitting that from the back. That's what they think. I don't mind hitting that from the back. Look how she working it. We adults here, okay? And that's what worldly men gonna be thinking. Christian men, if a woman gonna twerk, it's gonna be his wife in the privacy of their homes. Is she gonna twerk for her husband? A man don't want his wife out there twerking for other men. A man don't want nobody looking at his wife wiggling her behind. A married woman, a married man, I'm talking about a Christian man, don't want his wife showing all her breasts and suggested poses. And you see some married women on social media, how they dressing. They don't have no respect for their husbands. None. And you wonder if they married. Then you say, then you have to say, I wonder if that woman married. Then you look at her profile, married. That tell me she don't care nothing about her husband. She doesn't care nothing about her family, and she definitely doesn't care nothing about her faith. I mean, her own self. That's why a lot of men be jumping in women DM box. Let me tell you something, sister. Just because a lot of men jumping in other women boxes, that doesn't mean that you aren't attractive. They jumping in those women boxes because they appear to be easy to get to. All you have to do is feed their ego. If I keep feeding her some crap, I can get her how I want to. It's all about the presentation, sister. If you don't know nothing tonight, it's all in the presentation. The more a woman show her body, the more she attract men of the flesh. Listen to what I'm saying. The more a woman show her flesh, the more she's going to be attracted to men of the world. The more conservative a woman is, worldly men have to think twice about how to approach her. Because the more conservative a woman is, but she got class, she got integrity, she project truthness, and all those positive traits. She appears to be wise. She talks in a way where she got sense. I could take, I don't know what I can't match up with a woman like that. That was some guy said, I can't match up with that woman. She too much for me. That's before she opened her mouth. It's her presentation. Okay, let's say a woman shows a lot of her body and stuff to the public, but then you listen to her and she sound like she got some sense. You'll get confused. Sister Grace said, I started dressing modestly, and since then, no man jump in my DM. They compliment me, but don't try to hit on me. You know what, Sister Grace? That in itself telling you a lot. They know they can't mess with you. They know they can't bring no crap to you. That's what they know. They cannot bring no crap to you any kind of way. And that's a good position to be in, Sister Grace. Again, Sister Grace said, you brother, sister, I started dressing modestly. And since then, no man jump in my DM. They want to jump in the DM of the women that shaking the groove thing. Because all they want, sister, a lot of these worldly men want, they want their best 2 minutes with you. That's all. They want their best 2 minutes with you. And it's not even, and you all know what I'm talking about. And it's not about you. It's about what they can get out of you. And if they can achieve that, that's just like a trophy to them. Okay, I achieved that. Now I'm finna go hunting somewhere else. Don't you know a lot of time when men hunt, when they go hunt like for a deer, they want to get that buck that got those long antlers, right? That's an achievement. Or they go fishing and they get this big fish. They don't want to eat the fish. They want to hang it on their wall. So they got that moose head on their wall. They got a big fish on their wall. They got a tiger or something on their wall. Those achievements. And that's how a lot of worldly men, the equivalent of a hunter, those are achievements for them. So that's how they look at it, like an achievement. And when they get that achievement, what they do, they go hunt again for a bigger catch. And it goes on and on and on and on. Whereas a godly man, he needs a woman that she's attracted from the heart, from the inside. He want to take this woman to the ball. I mean, a real classy ball. He want to take this woman around. If he's invited to an upscale event, he is proud, not in a negative way, to take this woman with him. I have two sisters before. Way before I met my wife, Cinderella. I know Sister Floating probably heard it several times. I'm going to tell you all this. When I was single, there was this lady that I met. We started conversating. She had on her work attire. She had on a nursing outfit, right? She had on a nursing outfit. And we was talking. And we decided that we were going to meet at this point, and we were going to talk a little bit, okay? But you know, something she said, I should have really listened to it. You want me to tell you what she said? She said, I'm in my work clothes, but I really don't dress like this. But you see, I didn't know what she was talking about. She said, I don't really dress like this. She said, I dress more per se freely. And I still didn't catch what she was saying. Okay. We decided the restaurant that we were going to meet. I was there a little before her, right? She pulled up in her car. Keep in mind, her car had tinted windows. And she called me. She said, you here yet? I said, yes, I'm here. And then she said, where you at? And she said, I'm going to come right there and park where you at. So she came and parked where I at. I'm getting out of my car to open her door. And when I opened her door, my brothers and sisters, bam. What do I mean, bam? She got out the car and she had on this top. Listen to what I'm saying. She had on this top, and the only thing that it covered was her nipples. Listen to what I'm saying. It covered only her nipples. Now, I'm in a situation. I could not believe what I'm looking at. We went into the restaurant. I didn't want to go. I wanted to renege. I wanted to renege, my brother, since I wanted to renege on it. This woman coming up and with this, and they were sitting up too. They were sitting up and pointing out, okay? And they were jiggling, okay? They were jiggling. So when we went inside this restaurant, people just were looking. They were just looking. I felt embarrassed. I really did. Sister Phillip laughing at me. Your face said it all. Yes, Sister Phillip. And I put my name down there, and it was a Friday night, and a whole bunch of people were at this particular restaurant, my brothers and sisters. So they called my name. So she got up. So as we walked, some of the people that didn't see us, when we walked and the waitress was leading us along the way, people at their table stopped eating. If they had a fork in their hand, if they were about to eat something, they'll do like this. Or if they were talking, it like they talking to each other, and then when we walk by, they would do like this. I'm talking about men and women. Showstopper in the wrong way. They were about to sit her down. I said, can you move her back that way somewhere? And that's right, Sister Grace. And they put us in the back. But I knew we had to get up again. I knew we had to get up again. The same reaction all the way around. We got to her car. I wanted the night to be over. She didn't want the night to be over. I said, well, I got to go to Walmart. I was just trying anything. I said, I got to go to Walmart. She said, I want to ride with you. I said, okay, you can ride with me. Because in my mind, we're going to go to Walmart. She was going to stay in my car, and I was going to go in Walmart, right? I went to Walmart, parked the car, and I said to her, I said, is there anything you want me to bring out for you? Keyword, out for you. You know what she said? No, I'm going in there with you. I said, what? She said, I'm going in there with you. I said, you ain't got to go. Just listen to the radio. Just listen to the radio. I didn't mind, brothers. I didn't mind if she wanted to go through my glove compartment and see about some things about me. I wouldn't mind if that particular woman went through my glove compartment to see anything to occupy her time. She didn't want to look at, she didn't want to do that. You know how some women, brothers, when you leave them in your car and stuff, they want to ramble and stuff like that. Or in your apartment or your house, they want to ramble when you're not around. That's another topic another time. But she said, no, I want to go with you. I said, okay. I did the gentleman thing. I walked around, opened the door, and we went to Walmart. We walked into Walmart. People at the cash register walking around, talking and stuff. Everywhere we went, everybody froze. If somebody was walking, they would do like this. If somebody talking, if somebody about to run their, if they about to run their little thing up on the scanner, you know, after they purchase their good, if they were about to like, if they about to put something on the scanner and scan it, when we walk by, they'll do like this. I mean, froze up everything. Now, ask me, did I see her anymore after that? I tell you, nope, I didn't. Because if I would have hooked up with that woman, she would have been representing me. Now, that's her style for another type of gentleman, but it was not my style. Thank God it wasn't my style. But let me tell you, the reason why, because even though I'm not a perfect man, my brother and sister, I would like to follow God's son to the best of my ability. I know that I have to represent the Lord. I know that I follow my faith sometimes. And I know the woman that the Lord was going to bring into my life, not me bring into my life, he was going to choose a woman that is a godly woman, but she's not perfect, which is that one right there, Cinderella. So what am I saying? Sisters, if a man don't think it's something wrong with you, this is what a lot of you sisters, I'm talking direct to you Christian sisters now, don't think something wrong with you when men don't boldly approach you. Count it as a blessing. Count it as a blessing that a lot of men don't approach you. Just because a lot of men doesn't approach you, sister, doesn't mean that you're not attractive. It doesn't mean that you're not you're not easy on the eye. Don't ever think that. You sisters, you are the daughters of God. You got to understand your position. You are a daughter of God, which means you are righteous. You're righteous. You are princesses. Because based on you are, Jesus' blood is in you. You are royal, sister. You got to understand, you are royal. Why do you want to go be with the peasant men of the world, which are worldly men? You do not have to bow down to worldly men. How you doing, Sister Cynthia Smith? That's right. Sister Cynthia said queens. Okay, we'll go with queens. But you have royalty in you. So if you have royalty in you, why you want to leave the castle and go down and live in a cave with a worldly man and get dirty up? Why do you want to get your gown dirty up? God is your father. So God do not want you to get with a man that doesn't have royal blood in him too. God wants you, sister, to attract a man that have royal blood in him too. And he has to have the blood of God's son Jesus in him. He is a godly man, which is a Christian, which is a follower of the Lord. So how you present yourself, sister, to a godly man, God brings you to the man, and it's your presentation. Your presentation is the Spirit of the Lord in you, which promotes your soul. It promotes your soul. It comes just down to this too. Just like I always go to Ruth and Boaz. The Bible never tell you how Ruth looked. It never tell you that, does it? It never even tell you how Eve looked. But you got to understand, it has how Sarah looked and Rebecca looked and Eva Leah. But it has some beautiful women, and even Esther, it talk about her outside beauty. But you see, the outside beauty of Sarah, Rachel, and Esther, they still were godly women on the inside, okay? So it showed the dual complexity of both women. But on Ruth, it never mentioned how she looked. It focused on the inside of Ruth. Eve was perfect. The Bible never tells us how Eve looked. But Eve was a perfect specimen. She had to look beautiful. She was beautiful on the inside and out. So I'm here to tell you, my brothers and sisters, I believe that Eve was if you're looking at a beautiful woman, I imagine that Eve was the first original beautiful woman. We have seen beautiful women that in magazines, TVs, and even in person, but I'm telling you, Eve was completely flawless. Out of all the women, Eve was completely flawless. Sister Grace said, I keep hearing people say that many Christian women have a hard time finding a man of God because they don't go out much. I am very isolated, working, focusing on God. I only go to the church, grocery store. You made a good point, Sister Grace, but let me tell you this. That's what the world promotes. The world wants you, sisters. They want you to do what they doing. It's a deception thing what they do. They make it seem like a Christian woman will be a boring woman. Christian women aren't boring. Christian women aren't boring when God bring them to the right man. Believe me, it's not hard for you to find a man because you see, Christian women, they don't go looking for men. A man, it said, a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Christian women never go looking for men. Sister, you mentioned I'm isolated. That's good because you are being prepared for a good man. You use that keyword isolated. God is working on you, okay? And you focusing on God. That means that you're delighting in God. You say, I only go to church in the grocery store. Good thing, because let me tell you, between the church, the grocery store, wherever you go, you don't know when God gonna have a man positioned to see you. You do not have to go to a club. You don't have to go to, well, a lot of social. You don't have to go to the gym. You ain't got to do a whole bunch of that stuff. That's what the world do. You don't have to go to the club. You don't have to do that. That's how the world tell women they have to do. So they make the women think that I got to go hunting. Godly women don't do it. I said this last night. Some of you brothers and sisters heard me. Remember, I told you the story about Cinderella, right? I'm not talking about my wife now. We talk about the Disney lady, Cinderella. What did I say about Cinderella? Cinderella never went looking for a man. She never went looking for a man, did she? There was a man looking for a wife, Prince Charming, never told her what his name was. He was looking for a wife. He had a slipper. He tried to put this slipper on different women. They tried to force their way in. The shoe was either too small, too wide, or it just did not match. Cinderella, listen to me. Cinderella, before she actually met the prince, what position she was in? She was, guess what, Sister Gray? She was isolated. She was hid. Key word, she was hid. Her evil stepmom and her stepsister, they hid her. That represents the Lord hides you, sisters, but He's doing it in a positive way. Cinderella stepmother and sister, they wanted to be part of royalty. They hid Cinderella. You know why they hid Cinderella? Because they knew she had something. They knew how beautiful Cinderella was. They knew that Cinderella was caring-hearted. They knew that she was kind. They knew she had those qualities. And on top of it, she looked nice. They didn't want the prince to see her. So Cinderella was isolated, right? We know the story. Cinderella had a desire to go to the ball. She seen the prince. She had a desire. She didn't know how she was going to do it. But we know this fairy godmother person showed up and turned a pumpkin to a carriage and some mice to some horses, right? Let me tell you this. Sister, just like Cinderella had a desire to be with a good man, you have a desire to be with a good man. Cinderella went to the ball. Remember, Cinderella was the last person to show up at the ball. Everybody else was in the ball, right? Everybody was in the ball. Even Prince Charming. Prince Charming, he had a desire for a woman, a wife. Notice this. Prince Charming had a desire for a woman to be his wife. All he needed was someone foot to fit the slipper. When Cinderella came into the ball, what happened? She shut it down. They would dance and party and everything. When Cinderella came in. Everybody's eyes looked up at Cinderella. The music stopped. That's how it is, sister. When you come into an environment, it shuts down because people see who you are. You are a virtuous Proverb 31 woman. No words need to be said. When they show the prince face, what did he do? He was in awe. Kind of like Boaz, he was in awe when he seen Ruth. Ruth was isolated. She was out there gleaming with those other women, but she was isolated. Ruth was not no part of no gossip committee. Cinderella was not no part of no gossip committee. Ruth was isolated. Cinderella was isolated. When the prince saw Cinderella, he knew something about her. When Boaz seen Ruth, he knew something about her. All the prince had to do, he wanted to put that slipper on Cinderella's foot. When he put that slipper, Cinderella did not have to struggle or anything. Her foot went right into that slipper. And you remember, if you remember that Cinderella thing, you old school, you all remember the Cinderella, Roger and Hammerstein, how the wicked stepmother and those funky looking daughters of her were looking when Cinderella's foot slid in it. She was the one. When Boaz seen Ruth, she was the one. Boaz's slipper was his heart. You understand? It was his heart. Ruth slipped into Boaz's heart. She fitted him. It was other women that worked there gleaming before Ruth got there. And it were women gleaming when Ruth was there. But Cinderella stood out. Ruth stood out. You see, Cinderella is a fantasy, but it got some truth to it. How you doing, Sister Ingrid? It got some truth to it. Sisters, just like the real Ruth was very rare, the fiction of Cinderella, her character had some truth to it, but she was a fiction. But it was about her character. Cinderella was beautiful inside and out, and it radiated. We seen that on TV in the movie, whatever. What about Ruth? We don't know how Ruth looked. All we do know is about Ruth's character. It's all in the presentation, sisters. So, sisters, let me tell you this. If you hear people say it's hard for a Christian woman to find a man, a woman don't supposed to find a man for one thing. Women don't go looking for men. I'm telling you, in God's time, that's why I said you have to be patient. You have to be patient. Don't settle. That's a key thing. Be patient and do not settle. Don't settle for any old man, especially if the man is not a Christian. Don't settle because he's a nice man. He got a good job. He got somewhere to stay. He got some education. He got some money, all that kind of crap. Don't take that in a negative way. The most important thing is he a follower of Jesus Christ? How you doing, Sister Mo? Welcome to the dinner table. That's the bottom line. Is he a follower of the Lord? If he's not a follower of the Lord, he's not a good man. Because the Bible clearly say that there's no one righteous, no, not one. If a man does something good for you, sister, and it's not of God, if he don't have the Lord Jesus in him, it's like 50 rags. And the same thing, brother, if a woman does something good for you and she doesn't have Christ in her, it's like 50 rags before God. The world will say it's good, it's nice, but God don't see it that way. God don't see it being good unless his son is inside of you. That's how God mark it off as good. God, the Father, has to see Christ in you, the hope of glory. So again, sister, before we get out of here, how a woman attracts a man is in the presentation. Don't mark it and try to seduce no man to come to you by showing your body and doing little seductive things. You can get a man now. I'm sure you can get a man. If you want to twerk in a club, don't mean that the boy drinking. All they think about how you moving, how you wiggling your behind. I wonder, can you wiggle it if we go get in my car? Or do you know how to wiggle it if we go to a hotel? Do you know how to wiggle it if we go to my crib? Do you know how to wiggle it if I go to your crib? Can you wiggle it for me tonight? If they see you in a nightclub twerking, if they see you on social media twerking, if they see you on social media, you turned around showing your butt smiling. I wonder how to be with her bent over. That's how these guys be thinking. I wonder how to be that I just bend her over. I don't want nothing else with her. That's all she got to offer. Then she's showing you. Then they be showing the breast on social media in public. Then the man looking down at your breast, and then the woman said, "My face up here," but he looking at your breast because you show it to him. So yeah, he gonna look. You showing it, you advertising it, so he gonna look. Don't act like, cause most women when they go out, they gonna look at themselves in the mirror. They're gonna look at the front. They're probably gonna turn to the side. Then they're gonna turn and look over their shoulder in the mirror to see that whether you everything is like that, right? And you sister know I'm telling the truth. You going to check. Women gonna more than likely women gonna check everything out before they walk out that door. So don't be surprised, sister, when you see a woman walking around in the office or whatever and men are on her. Don't be surprised, sister, on social media when you see a woman. Listen to this. When you see a woman that got a lot of followers, and most of them are men, don't let that fret you. When you see a woman on social media that got a whole bunch of men followers, guess what? All they doing is building her up. She's not really interested in them. And the man that she may be interested in her, he's not interested in her. You know why? Because he said, she for the streets. She need attention. Thank you, Sister Cole. Welcome to the dinner table. She need attention. Godly women, you don't need no attention. You're going to automatically get attention. You ain't got to dress like a 304. You don't have to dress like a garden tool, and I'm not talking about a shovel. You ain't got to do all that kind of stuff. Be who you are. You are a daughter of God. You don't forget your position. You're a daughter of God. If God wants his son to find you, God gonna orchestrate it. Where are you? Where is thou faith? What is faith? The substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Presentation. My brother and sister, I'm glad that you came to the dinner table tonight. If you have any questions or comments, put the word wait in the comment section and I will address your question or comments. If you don't have anything, I enjoyed this dinner time with you. I hope that I helped some of you sisters. How a woman attract a man is the presentation. Are you trying to get a man based on your body and your movement, or are you interested in the man growing in love with your soul, the real you behind the body? When you take that makeup off at night, when you stop, when you don't use filters on social media, when you take all that stuff off, the real you, please come forward. The real you, come forward. I love you, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much, Sister Phyllis. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. I enjoy having dinner with you, brothers and sisters. Go ahead and get one of these carrot plates, my brother and sister. Put it in the refrigerator. Warm that baby up with some more family members and friends and share this good food for the soul. Remember this. Believe this. C'est la vie. Peace out. Good night, brothers and sisters. Have a good one.